Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. On this video I am going to be giving you an update on some of Manchester United's transfer news. So according to Corriere dello Sport, which I think is an Italian outlet, they have said that Manchester United are interested in signing Sandro Tonali from Brescia, if I've pronounced that team's name correctly. Now, I'm very sceptical that Manchester United will get him because I think it has mentioned that Inter Milan have reached an initial agreement to get Sandro Tonali on loan, with then obviously the obligation to buy for just over £31 million. But Brescia's owner, Massimo Cellino, who of course is a former Leeds United owner, he has confirmed that AC Milan are now interested in Sandro Tonali. Also Romano, I think it's Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he's come out and said that there's a chance that AC Milan could sign the player. Now, he is a midfielder. You know, he can be deployed as a central midfielder and he can also be deployed as a holding midfielder. He has got a contract with Brescia until 2022. He has been at Brescia for several years. I think he has been there since 2012, so he's been there around 8 years now, and I think he's been in their senior squad since 2017. But yeah, I can't see Manchester United getting him on the board. I think he's actually a very creative, very energetic midfielder. Can keep the ball well. Very good with his right foot. But I think Brescia did say that they would like him to remain on loan with them for this season if he agrees a move away from Brescia by October. But yeah, I can't see him coming to Manchester United. But like I said, cheap solution. So that is the breaking news on him. Now, I want to give you some news on Sergio Reguilon. Sorry if I've pronounced his surname wrong, but you know what I mean. He's a left back that plays for Real Madrid. Now, it's looking very likely that Sergio Reguilon will be leaving Real Madrid, because obviously he doesn't get in their team. Obviously, Ferland Mendy and Marcelo get there ahead of Sergio Reguilon, because obviously Ferland Mendy and Marcelo are obviously left backs. Now, Marca have said that we're interested, and Real Madrid have revealed their asking price. I think is available for around, is it £18 million? Well, it said from between 18 million to 22 million pounds. He has got a contract with Real Madrid until 2023. He is only the age, is he, of 23. But he's actually been at Real Madrid for several years. I think he joined their youth setup in 2005. He was in their youth setup for a good 10 years, wasn't he, at least? Obviously, made his first team debut in 2018. Obviously, last season he was out on loan with Sevilla. Sevilla have actually entered negotiations over possibly getting him permanently. He also had loan spells with the Loggerons as well, didn't he? The UD Loggerons, yeah. But actually, no, it would be beneficial if Man United could get a left back in. Obviously, we've got two predominant left backs at the moment. Obviously, that's Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. Obviously, Luke Shaw is our first choice left back at the moment. And I think he will remain our first choice left back for this season, because obviously Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. Luke Shaw's endured, 6 years at Man United. We got him for £30 million from Southampton back in 2014. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. Don't get me wrong though, Brandon Williams enjoyed a very good season last season. It was his first season in the senior squad. Williams did make his debut in our game against Rochdale in the EFL Cup. He also made his first Premier League start against Brighton. and scored a professional goal against Sheffield United. I think that's the only professional goal he's scored at the moment. But when Williams gets a bit more experience behind him, I think he will become our number one. And obviously, Williams is out with injury at the moment. So that's the latest on all of that. You already know the news regarding Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. There's still a chance that he could sign for Manchester United in this summer transfer window, because Jadon Sancho did say he still expects his move to Manchester United to happen, and Man United of course still want to sign him. But it's very imperative that we sign Sancho in this summer transfer window. But throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because obviously Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million, and we have said we are not willing to meet that valuation. It does mention that Sancho has agreed personal terms with Man United, and it says he has agreed a 5-year contract with the football club worth around 340 grand a week. But obviously no fee has yet come to an agreement. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund did play 2 friendlies yesterday. They drew with Paderborn 1-1. Jadon Sancho played around 72 minutes in that game. And they also lost to Bochum 3-1. But around 3 weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that Sancho would have been signing for Manchester United, because obviously Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Man United have agreed personal terms with Sancho, and it mentioned that a 5-year contract had been agreed, and he said that negotiations between Man United and Dortmund were at an advanced stage, but it said just after that talks had broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. James Cooper, he tends to be close to United, and he gave us an update on Sancho the other week, and he said that Man United don't miss out on players that they do intend on signing, and he still believes that Sancho wants to come to Man United. Christian Falk, he's spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga quite a few times. He did recently say, though, that we have abandoned our chase for Sancho until the summer of 2021. So he said we had given up on him in this summer transfer window. But you had Borussia Dortmund's sporting director and CEO. They all said that Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund and the decision is final. Don't forget, we missed out on the deadline to sign him because we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. But Sancho is our number one priority target. We have been in for him for like the last 3 years, because we first expressed our interest in him in 2017. And I think Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid $8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He enjoyed a few years with Man City, but the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. And obviously before he was at City, he was at Watford. And he was at Watford for several years. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. We've already made a promise to the player, that we are willing to offer him the number 7. Because, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. And we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But I think Sancho's still got a contract, has he, with Dortmund? Is it till 2022 or 2023? We have been looking at quite a lot of alternatives to Sancho now, because these cheaper solutions in him. We've been looking at Kingsley Coman from Munich, Douglas Costa from Juventus, David Brooks from Bournemouth, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, Rabbi Matondo from Schalke. So there you go. But I'd love Man United to sign Sancho. I've outlined the reasons why I want him at the football club is because he'll dramatically improve us. He's got a good friendship with Rashford, and he's predominantly a right winner. Obviously, if we meet Dortmund's valuation, then obviously if we'd met Dortmund's valuation, Sancho would have been our most expensive signing and the most expensive British player in history. But I think we're the only club that are in for him now, because Chelsea are no longer in for him and Liverpool are no longer in for him. City do benefit from it anyway if Sancho goes, because they get around 15% of the transfer fee. You know the news on Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. He's another one of our priority targets. He did recently say that we are still in contact with Aston Villa over Jack Grealish. He's rated at around £75 million. Donna van der Beek, there's still reports coming out saying that there's a chance Man United could sign him in this summer transfer window. But yeah. But Man United have got to hurry up and make signings in this summer transfer window, because the summer transfer window has been open around, 5 weeks now? And, we've not yet made any signings. And my element of concern is there's teams around us that are recruiting very, very well. You've got Chelsea. They've done very, very good business so far. They recently signed Thiago Silva on a 3. They recently got Malang Sarr. They're closing on the Havertz. They recently got Chilwell. They got Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner. Liverpool, they recently signed Tsimikas from Olympiacos. Now I think they're closing on Thiago. Man City, they've signed the likes of Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake. Tottenham, they recently signed Holberg and they got Joe Hart on a 3. And I think they're also going to sign Doherty as well. Arsenal, they recently signed Gabriel Magalhaes and got Willian on a 3. So yeah, there's just teams around us that are recruiting very, very well. But I think, Solskjaer has said he wants Manchester United to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And I think Ed Woodward has said he wants Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings in this summer transfer window. And obviously we know Solskjaer is looking to improve the squad. Earlier on in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career, he said he wanted to recruit young British talents to Man United. So far at the football club, Solskjaer has spent just over £200 million. Obviously, last summer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, brought Bruno Fernandes and Odi Nagalo in. Obviously, he brought Odi Nagalo on loan. And he's also brought a few academy players in recently. We brought Alvaro Fernandez in from Real Madrid, Marc Joado from Barcelona. We recently brought that Isaac Cantona in. Joe Hughley also came in, and so too did Filip Stevanovic. We got him for €12 million, but he will remain at Partizan Belgrade on loan for this season, so he will officially join Man United in the summer of 2021. So it's good that we brought some more young players in, and there's a lot of good young players coming through at Man United. But we have got to start making signings. And to be honest with you, I don't think any of this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault. Solskjaer's publicly come out and said that Man United have got to spend big in this summer transfer window. And Solskjaer's obviously instructed our board already to go and get his preferred targets. But I just think Man United are losing patience now with the board. We're losing patience with the board, yeah. Obviously, it reflects on our lack of transfer activity. Is this now the longest we've gone without making one signing in the summer transfer window? But for several years, we've been very, very critical of Woodward. We've been very, very critical of the Glazers. But there's explanations behind that. Our recruitment policy's been poor for several years. We've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years. So this is why. Woodward's been at the club since 2012. The Glazers have been at the club since 2005. So Woodward's been at Man United around 8 years. The Glazers have been with us around 15 years. But I don't think Woodward and the Glazers are backing him enough in this summer transfer window. And Woodward has said quite a few times that, he's determined to back Solskjaer. Woodward said at the first part of last season, Solskjaer's job was safe, even when we went through that bad period, when we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And the Glazers said, they are willing to back him. Like I've said to you on my recent videos, I think Solskjaer is in a similar situation to what Mourinho was in. Because in the summer of 2018, Mourinho made it clear to our board that he wanted a centre-half in. Obviously never got that centre-half in. Wasn't backed enough by the board. And that's one of the main explanations why he got sacked as Manchester United manager. Of course, Mourinho enjoyed 2.5 years at the club. He did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Man United, and obviously recommended 11 players in and spent around, was it 400 million or just under 400 million pounds on players and that. But There you go. Mourinho obviously had bad disputes with our board as well, and had bad disputes with our top players. So these are the other reasons why it did not work out under him. But so far, everything's going wrong for Manchester United. It really, really is. Obviously, we've just had the news that Marcus Rashford's recently got an ankle injury. So he's a doubt for England's games against Iceland and Denmark. He was out last season for us with a back injury. We had, Williams injured. It said Wan-Bissaka's set to miss the start of pre-season training because he recently travelled to Dubai, so he's got a quarantine for 14 days. We had the incident with Harry Maguire. My own perception, Harry Maguire is totally innocent now. Obviously, he recently got a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days. Obviously, following his trial in Greece, and he was found guilty of repeated bodily harm, attempted bribery, violence against public employers, and there was also something else. Harry Maguire recently gave his first interview since his arrest in Greece, like I recently updated you on. And he said he feared for his life during his arrest in Greece and he thought he was being kidnapped. And Harry Maguire, believes he does not owe any apology. And he was saying that, he was kicked in the legs by police and told that, his career was over. But he allegedly attacked police because it actually, said that his sister had been stabbed. It said before the trial that Harry Maguire, could have paid around 90 grand to avoid going to jail for around 3 years. But a retrial's been put forward and this retrial has been accepted, but this could take up to several months or it could even take up to a year. We had the bad news recently on Paul Pogba as well. Obviously, Paul Pogba recently tested positive for coronavirus. I think he was recently in London. So I hope all the best for Paul Pogba and his family because the disease, can be very, very serious. The vast majority of people do get it mild, but there's a minority, that do get it severe. You're more likely to get it severe if you've got like any underlying health conditions and that. So Paul Pogba had to withdraw from the France squad, obviously, and so too did Tanguy Ndombele because he recently got tested positive for coronavirus. But Solskjaer has got big decisions to make at Manchester United, of obviously what players he's going to recommend in this summer transfer window. And he's also got to decide on what players he's going to get rid of in this summer transfer window. We could get rid of up to 10 players in this summer transfer window. I think we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Delors. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Bay. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Victor Lindelof. Obviously, Sergio Romero is open to leaving Manchester United. But quite frankly, he's still deadwood at the football club. I think Solskjaer must put Dean Henderson as number one for this season because I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number one. Because he's got that experience behind him because Dean Henderson recently enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And I think, he was Sheffield United's player of the season was Dean Henderson. But, Dean Henderson's been part of the club for several years because obviously, we got him at the age of 14 from Carlisle. We recently had the good news on Dean Henderson. He signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United with an option of a further year. So it's a 6-year deal in total. And now he's on around 120 grand a week. So his wages are double because it was only last year that Dean Henderson had signed a new deal at Man United worth around £60,000 a week. But it's De Gea that's been our number one goalkeeper for several years. But I just think now it's too much of a liability, to remain our number one. But Solskjaer said he wants him to remain number one for at least another season. De Gea has been at the club for several years. I think this season will be his 10th season at Manchester United. De Gea has made around 405 appearances for us in all competitions. And he's made around 300 odd appearances in the Premier League. And I think he's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been here because in the last couple of years he has been a liability reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. If we was to sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, I think we'd probably get around £60 million. But, we won't sell him in this summer transfer window. We paid just over £18 million in from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. De Gea, though, has won everything domestically at the football club, and he has won individual awards reflecting on his good run of performances. So Solskjaer has got decisions to make. We know, obviously, that Harry Maguire, he's going to keep the captain's armband as well at Manchester United. But Maguire, obviously, said it's down to Manchester United to decide on whether he keeps the captaincy or not. But this season is the big test for Solskjaer, because this season is his second full season at the football club. And he knows this season he's got bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because obviously in the last 7 years we haven't mounted any kind of title challenge up. I mean, obviously we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And I think another one of our expectations will be to win a trophy, because obviously we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. And Solskjaer has been at the club now around 20 months, and we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years. And that's the first time this has happened in like 31 years. But this season will tell the story if Solskjaer is the right manager for Man United. It will. And it is a transition period for Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. And like I've said to you before, Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £700 million. That's obviously disregarding who he's obviously brought in. But last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. I've got to say, last season he exceeded most of his expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us third. And obviously, we got to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, the EFL Cup semi-final, and the Europa League semi-final. But Solskjaer did say that obviously semi-finals are not good enough. But like I said, there's still improvements needed. I still think, there's certain players that have got to step up to the plate. I think that there's aspects of our game that I've got to improve. I think definitely Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making. So there's still improvements needed at Man United. But we don't make any signings in this summer transfer window, we will really struggle this season. Got to be honest with you. But like I said to you, I've seen improvements under Solskjaer, and I've seen change. Like I said, I think our recruitment has improved under him. Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club, which is very, very good. We're seeing players like Angel Gomez, Sanchez, Lukaku, Chong, Herrera, Fellaini, Darmian, Valencia, Young, all leave the football club since Solskjaer came in. Obviously, we loaned a few players out. I think we've loaned now Dylan Levitt, James Garner and Joe Pereira out, or they're going to be going out on loan. But that's the right thing to do, so obviously they can get regular first team football. I think Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well since he came into Manchester United, so that's something else that's improved. Our record against the top 6 side last season was obviously very, very impressive. We've been good since January, because don't forget we haven't lost in the league since January. So we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. We did go on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final. But like I said to in the last 7 years we've been playing catch-up, because obviously we've had different managers with different philosophies. We spent, £900 million on players since Ferguson's retirement, and we've recruited a good 32, 33 players in since Ferguson's retirement. Different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson. That was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. But yeah. But I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. But I'm hopeful that we can win a title at some point under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era and that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.